When I first started bulking, I thought if I just eat everything in sight, that's how I gain muscle. So I ate like burgers, pizzas, bagels, everything. And I got bigger, I gained size, I got more muscle. But I got so much body fat with that. I got to 95 kg and just felt awful. And until I worked out how to bulk properly and gain real muscle, then I got in the best shape of my life. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can do that. As a problem like everyone faces when they're bulking, I faced it for a long time myself, is we either can't eat enough, we can't eat enough calories each day, or we eat way too much, and we get too fat, or we can't gain the weight at all. And there's this middle ground right in the middle here, which I'm going to show you exactly how you can be here, where you gain the muscle without much fat at all. And I remember the first month or two when I was bulking, every day I'd finish the gym, I'd go to Tesco's and I'd buy like bagels, pizzas, all this stuff that I said. I'd sit at home in my kitchen. I remember just stuffing my face and it felt awful. I was just eating and eating and eating. I was trying to bulk like as fast and as quick as I could. And I absolutely hated it. And the thing is, I'd sit there, I'd stuff my face in the kitchen for one single day. And then the next day, I wouldn't want to even touch food. I wouldn't want to eat a single thing. As it was so hard bulking, like eating that much food every day, you feel absolutely stuffed. You don't want to have another bite, but you still got a whole pizza to eat or a whole bagel or something else. And I just absolutely hated it. And it's just I didn't realize this one thing. And it's that we don't have to bulk up as fast as possible. As in my mind, I was thinking, okay, I need to gain as much weight within a month, within 2 months. I need to do it all super fast. And doing this meant I had to eat so much food, like 4,000 calories a day at one point. And it wasn't sustainable. Like I gained so much body fat and I didn't feel good at all. So what we need to do is we need to find a way to bulk, but sustainably, healthily, where we can gain the muscle, we can get bigger. But it's not that hard, it's not that difficult, it's actually easy to do. And this is where we bulk in a 250 to 500 calorie surplus. What this means essentially is, say we have our maintenance calories. You can work this out by literally searching on Google calorie calculator, and you can calculate how many calories you burn a day. And look at what your maintenance is. It will probably be somewhere around the 2,500 mark. That's mine. That may be a bit higher than yours, but somewhere around there. And now we're at about 2,500 mark. If we eat 2,000 calories, that means we stay at the same weight. We don't gain any weight at all, and we don't lose any. So from this maintenance mark, if we jump from either 250 to 500, somewhere around there, up from this mark, we're going to gain weight. We're going to get bigger. We're going to gain size. And most of it's going to be muscle. The more you go to that 500 calorie mark, the more you're going to gain a bit more fat. But this is all a sustainable amount where we're going to gain weight faster and faster. So if you want to gain weight as quick as possible, but still at a sustainable, healthy rate, go for 500 calories. But if you're happy to take your time, just gain muscle, not much fat at all, then go for that 250 mark. And you can go anywhere in between, it all works. And I remember when I did this, I started off at 72 kg. I was very lean, I was shredded, I literally had veins in my abs. And I wanted to bulk up because I felt my arms were small and all different stuff. But I didn't want to eat loads of calories, do any of that. So I did this method. I ate probably about 300 calories surplus a day. So I was eating around 2,800 to 3,000 calories per day. I was doing quite a lot of exercise at the time as well. And it took me actually longer to gain the weight. It was slowly but surely. But I gained about 8 kg and I got to around 80 kg. And when I got to this 80 kg mark, I was still lean, I was still muscular, I still had abs. And I just felt awesome. I just gained muscle on my physique. I had a little extra belly fat, which I could see around my belly, but I was still lean, I still had abs, so I felt in great shape. And this is all because the way we were doing this bulking, the way we were counting these calories was so much smarter. It was so much more sustainable. And okay, it took a bit of patience, it took a bit of time, but whatever way you're going to do, it's going to take time, consistency, and patience. So doing it this way allowed me to just gain muscle and not have to gain very much fat at all. But then we come to the second step, and now, so we know how many calories we want to eat a day. If not, go calculate it now. Just 250 to 500 calories over your maintenance, probably around the 3,000 calorie mark, let's say. But we need to make sure we're eating the right quality of foods for one, and the right amount of protein. Obviously, first, the right amount of protein. You've probably heard it before. You need 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. So I weigh 180 pounds, so I need 180 grams of protein. You may weigh less, so you need less protein. And what protein is so important for muscle growth. as this is what helps repairs our muscles, helps build new muscle tissue. And if we don't eat enough protein, you can train as hard as you want, you can sleep well, you can do all the right stuff, but without the right amount of protein, you're just not going to build a good amount of muscle, and not going to build muscle fast at all. So if we first prioritize our protein with our diet, this is the one thing we need to tick off every day, that high protein diet. As well as hitting our calories, high protein. These are the two biggest things on our checklist. So here I'm going to break down a meal plan of sort of what you can eat a day, so you can tick both of these things off, having high calories and high protein within your diet. So for breakfast, I like this to be my pre-workout meal. What I'd have here is a bowl of oats, like porridge, so oats, water, and I'll put some protein powder. After I've cooked it, I'll put some protein powder, some blueberries, some dates, a bit of honey on top of it, mix it all together and eat this. Here, great source of carbohydrates with the oats. You've got protein high in your diet already, about 31 grams of protein, depending on what protein powder you're using. And then you just got different types of fruit to make it taste nice. Here, before a workout, I find this so important. A pre-workout meal, I think, is brilliant. Some people like to do it fasted, but for me, when you're feeling full, when you've got glycogen within your muscles, you have more energy. As I used to do no pre-workout meal. I used to just be fasted, no food at all in my system. And halfway through a workout, I'd feel kind of depleted. The first half would be good, but then I'd start to be drained, start to be tired. But once I started actually having a pre-workout meal, I actually didn't feel hungry. I didn't feel depleted. I had energy throughout the whole workout. From the start to finish, I could maintain a high energy level, which I think is brilliant. So that would be the first meal. Oats, porridge, oats, protein powder, porridge, blueberries and stuff like that. Then after our workout, we want a post-workout meal. This is one of the best times to get protein in, as we've just caused micro tears, we've worked our muscles out. So now eating a lot of protein is going to help repair them quicker and make us see extra muscle growth. Here, usually something like 6 eggs. You should have wholemeal, you should have toast, wraps, whatever you want it with. But usually eggs or a source of protein like this. High in protein, about 36 grams. So we've already hit around the 60 gram mark by our second meal of the day, which is brilliant, obviously. And yeah, you're just going to see really great hypertrophy results with this. For meal 3, usually I have like a chicken wrap. What I like to do is meal prep. On like a Sunday, I'll prepare about 7 wraps throughout the week, so I don't have to cook for meal 3. Instead, I can just have it in a container, put it in my microwave, warm it up, and eat it whenever I want. I don't have to take loads of time to cook. And wrap, usually I'd have as much chicken as I want in it. If you can have like around 150, 200 grams mark, that's really good. If obviously it matters how much your protein goal is. But about 200 grams of chicken is around like 69 grams of protein, which is really good. So that would be meal 3. And meal 4, I'd have something similar, like chicken again with rice or something like that. Here, you're most likely to take your protein just through that list there. But you can also snack on things like nuts. You can do cashews, all different type of nuts, which are really great. Milk, you can have protein shakes throughout your day. You don't just have to have one. If you need more, then you should have more. And just all different snacks, fruits, stuff like that. And you can even have red meat, all this different stuff, which can really help you out. And with this all, I'm hitting the right amount of protein. I'm even hitting too much protein in the day, so I can remove the protein powders if I need. Like, I don't have to eat as much chicken or food, and I could have something else if I wanted. You could have a cookie or just something that's going to get you hitting those calories. But with this meal, you don't want to go super over the calories. Like, say the goal is 3,000, and you don't want to be eating 3,300, 3,600, as you're going to be in too much of a high calorie surplus, and you're going to gain fat. So the importance is staying around that 3,000 calorie mark, however you do that. And the last thing that I want you to know, which I haven't actually realized until recently, and it's how important something called periodization is. Periodization is where it's like seasons in a way. You'll have a period of time, 8 to 12 weeks, so 2 months, 3 months, where you're bulking. And then after that 2 to 3 months, you want to have another period of time, maybe 2 months again, maybe 1 month, maybe 3 months, where you're like maintaining. You're not bulking anymore. You're just eating normally, trying to stay at the same weight. Doing this is actually super important, as I want you to imagine we have this plant and we're watering this plant. And imagine if we just keep watering it and watering it. All day we just keep watering it. We never take the water off. There'll be a point where we just water this plant too much. We give it too much water, too much nutrition, and we just drown. And that's what we can do with our bulk. We can just keep on bulking and bulking all year round, never stop bulking. And we just drown ourselves with calories. Our metabolism's not doing great. We're not gaining weight at the right amount. It's just not going well at all. versus if we periodize it, where we do 8 to 12 weeks, we bulk, we train hard, we do everything right. Then maybe like Christmas time or summertime, we take the time off. We take 2 months off, we take 1 month off, however long you want to take off. Usually around the 2 month works best, but if you can't take 2 months, like you don't have the patience for it, and at least do 1 month. Then we take that time off where we're just maintaining, we're trying to stay at the same weight, build more muscle still, trying to have a high protein diet, but we maintain there. And then after we bulk again, 8 to 12 weeks, we can bulk again, gain more size, then maintain, maybe even cut down at one point. So after one of the 8 to 12 weeks, you do a little cut to reduce all the fat on your body, but keep the muscle. And we work like that. We don't work in one constant bulk, as it's just draining. Because I remember doing that for a time, and there's a point where you just burn out. You get to about 20 weeks into it where, I don't know how many months, 25 months maybe, 20 weeks is, and there's a point where you're just done. Like you don't want to eat anymore. You don't want to look at food. You don't want to think about food. You just don't want it anymore. And you want to stop yourself from getting to that point, as when you burn out, you lose all your gains, you lose motivation, all of it goes out the window. But if you know from 8 to 12 weeks, maybe start around the 8-week range, go for 8 weeks of bulking, then you maintain, you relax for a bit, you relax for a month or two, and then you go back 8 weeks of bulking again. Here it's sustainable, it's actually healthy for you, and you feel better for it. So that's completely what I'd recommend. As I was able to get in the best shape of my life with just the first 2 steps of having the right calories, the right protein and all that different stuff. But if you can learn to periodize it as well, having those 8 weeks on, 8 weeks off, 8 weeks on, you can make more progress, as you won't burn out like I did. Instead, you can just be on this constant bulk where you bulk, you maintain, and then you can gain size so much easier and with even less fat than before. But I hope this video has helped. There's a free lean bulking course in the description of this video that I just break down more meals, more recipes, all different things, grocery lists. It's all in the link in the description. But apart from that, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.